Ooh, that's not how we start out. Tonight on the Guy to Movies podcast with Joe and Sean, we have a lot to cover, Sean. This is like probably our heftiest newsworthy episode ever, or news-filled episode ever, as well as every studio decided to drop every goddamn trailer out there in the past like 5 days.
I've cleared the next 4 hours, so we're ready to go.
I took off for the next week on FMLA for the podcast.
We're not stopping.
We're not stopping. Tonight on the Guide to Movies podcast with Joe and Sean, right after this.
Change the game just now. I have a rave.
These are the best ideas I've ever heard.
Seth Rogen can't
I'm saying that's the commentary that will exist.
A Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
It filed Mickey Mouse.
Oh my god!
Welcome to the Guide to Movies podcast with Joe and Sean. I am Joe. He is Sean. And this is episode 84. How are you, math teacher movies?
84, the number of trailers we're going to go over today.
I just added another one, so it's 85.
Are you actually kidding me?
No.
Okay, good. I would hate that.
Yes, I am kidding you. No, I didn't add one.
Okay, good. There we go.
There are so many. It's insane. I mean, aside from, we didn't really get that many during the Super Bowl. It's like they all were like, we're not spending the money, but Monday, you watch out.
Well, they came either like Sunday morning or like, Monday. Yeah, Monday morning. They just didn't want to have that Super Bowl stank, which is like, it's just odd.
But can you explain to me, like, Nope, for instance, right? Why would you drop that on Sunday morning and then pay the however much money it is to put it with in the Super Bowl?
I guess they have money for both, but also cinephiles live on the internet, so they'll be ready. And then they'll be ready to quiet down their friends to be like, nope trailer, nope trailer.
I was at a bar with my family, and every time a trailer came on, I was like, shh.
I love how you're trying to shush a sports bar during the Super Bowl.
It worked out really well. Well. What's been going on? Everything good over there? I feel like we haven't done this in forever, but it's just because we did Monday last week and Wednesday this week.
That is why it does feel like forever. I was wondering that. And also, like, pretty much, once again, we'll just mention it. An insane amount of news has dropped in between. Like, this is 2 weeks worth of news, even though we haven't seen each other in a week and a half.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane is what it is. So why don't we just dive right into it? Typically, we start with talking about a trailer and showing a trailer and watching a trailer and talking about like what we're excited about and what we think is going to happen. We're just going to run through these with some quick hits because let's see, how many trailers did I put on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A lot of them I really am excited to talk about too. I actually left some off because I was like, not good conversation, but these I think are good. So let's start off with Firestarter. This is the new adaptation of Stephen King's classic story. Is starring Zack Efron in a daddy role. Like, not like a daddy role like what the gays would call him, but like a daddy role.
I was going to say, you could have said father role. I like what you jumped to, but you could have said, I
call him daddy 95% of the time. So
I get it.
Anyway, that's what's happening. This is the one where she has like that, basically a superpower of fire and fire generating and whatever. It's a remake. It's going to be heading to theaters and Peacock on May 13th. Have you watched this and what was your reaction?
I have watched this. I actually had on my my watch list the original Firestarter, and I think it's still on there. I haven't gotten around to it. I'll definitely check it out before this just to get the fun little comparison between the two. Although I've heard that it's kind of like one of those jokey, middling, kind of lame horror movies. It has like Drew Barrymore, like her capitalizing off of her E.T. fame, I believe. I got to check those dates to make sure one came after the other. But it's one of those things where that's not that big of a wow of a movie back then. And so trying to make this happen again, it could work. There's a chance it could work, but most likely this is just going to be something where you're going to remake a Stephen King quote unquote classic with the only addition to be cooler and possibly better special effects, which doesn't necessarily satisfy when it comes to, story or anything like that. I'm still willing to check it out without a doubt, especially when at the end of the trailer it said Peacock. I was like, yep, I'm in.
I shall watch. No, I'm with you. They call it a Stephen King classic. I think the story is. I don't necessarily think the movie was. You're right. This was 2 years after E.T. In '84. So Drew Barrymore did star in this. I'm excited for it. I mean, excited in the sense that I'll definitely look forward to watching it. I'm not expecting anything magical and like insanely good, but all I ask for is a good movie and then wow me after that, you know? Just like Jurassic World Dominion, we got the first full trailer for the third Jurassic World, the final one with this group, apparently. I'll believe it when I see it. But this, we got our first look at the OGs. And I have to tell you, when I saw this trailer, which dropped last week, and I think it was the same trailer during the Super Bowl, but when it dropped last week, I was like losing my mind. Just seeing them, I was like, Laura Dern, Laura Dern. And my dad turned to me and goes, people are going to clap during this movie, aren't they? And I was like, yep.
It is unbelievable because there's one part that worries me because Jeff Goldblum was brought back in the second movie of the new trilogy, and we all thought Jeff Goldblum's back, Dr. Malcolm's back. He is given 3 words to say in the first portion of the movie and 3 words to say in the last. He's given a tiny little speech. It seems like all 3 of these characters are given a lot more, and they're joining up together. It seems like 2 different stories where they end up together, you know, towards the end. And Chris Pratt and Sam Neill are going to have a Sam Neill off, which sounds like a good time. I do think this will be the end of the trilogy, mainly because I think the world ends with dinosaurs just ruling and like humans having to deal with that, and that's going to be the like sort of ending that happens here because you can't have any other ending. Look, I saw this trailer and I absolutely adored it. I think this trailer was exceptional on every level. Here's the problem. I'm talking about the trailer. The movies have disappointed me in the past. The first one of the Jurassic Worlds, lovely romp, definitely a little dumb, just a little bit dumb towards the end. Then after that, you get to the second movie, which was sort of a mess. A lot of people
hated
like it.
The second one.
It's an absolute mess, in my opinion. There's some people that like this movie, but it is 2 different movies pushed together in the most disgustingly weird fashion that doesn't make any sense. They cloned people. I'm spoiling it. So then finally we have this last one, which seems like they're going to just veer as far away as they can from that mess of the second movie. And like, hopefully this can be something that's pretty good.
I'm with you. It was addressed a while ago when I think it was first announced that the OGs were coming back, that they will have a significant role. So it's not just going to be like was in the second one, because I think everyone was on the same page with like hating the fact that Jeff Goldblum was marketed as being in the movie. And that marketing was what was in the movie. They didn't really do anything else with them.
It's true. They didn't lie.
Yeah, right. But there's a couple images from this, like when like they're all just standing together looking forward. And I think Jeff Goldblum has one of those funny lines like, bigger. Why they always got to be bigger or something. Oh, yeah. I'm pumped for it. I mean, will it be good? Who knows? But this is a series, and I can't remember what podcast I was listening to that talked about this. It may have been the Chumpcast, but they were saying like, maybe it wasn't them, but basically it's always an event, right? Like Jurassic World, they can burn me so many times with Jurassic Park movies, and I'll go see them and hope for the best.
It's dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs with people. That's what they walked in. I mean, Michael Crichton's novel is what they walked into, but Spielberg walked into the room and said, "Dinosaurs with people," and they said, "Make it happen."
Give me your best dinosaur impression.
I'll do this will only be good for video, but I'll do that thing that killed Wayne Knight in the first one.
What's I was gonna do a Tyrannosaurus Rex where it's just like, which is kind of the same
I
as
don't
a
go
whale.
for the easy. I don't go for the easy. I go for the Wayne Knight murderer.
Apparently. Jesus. Anyway, the next one is the Adam Project. This is the teaser for the Ryan Reynolds led film about a man who accidentally crash lands into 2022. Sorry for him. Time traveling. He's time traveling, and he teams up with his 12-year-old self on a mission to save the future. This premiered last night, I believe. I think Netflix already held the premiere. It is him reuniting with his Free Guy director, which is Sean Levy. Am I right? Yeah, Sean Levy. And I actually think this looks pretty solid. It's a Netflix film. It's coming March 11th.
This looks like a solid kids family film. And Ryan Reynolds looks like, for someone that, was rocking the Deadpool corners for quite a while, it's someone who can placate to children in this fashion, which I'm running through it. I don't think I've ever seen him like do. Like, because he's just like always played like, Van Wilder or Waiting or like really some like
Waiting.
Yeah.
What a classic.
Boy, look back at that movie. That movie should not be watched anymore.
Why?
Oh, there's a lot of problematic stuff in that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd still watch it. It's hysterical. But I will say, like, Ryan Reynolds, he looks like he's interacting with the kid great. Looks like he's going to be able to, like, do his smile and wink at the camera thing, but for kids, which is a lot better than you'd see. I honestly heard the synopsis of this, and I said, well, this sounds like a horrible idea. I don't think Reynolds could pull this off. It looks like he can actually pull this off. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, is like, okay, he can do the comedy for the kids, and it works just as well.
Can I just tell you that looking at his filmography on IMDb, obviously the Adam Project is what we're talking about. He's playing Ebenezer Scrooge in Spirited. I think that's the one with Will Ferrell, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a comedy musical, I think. There's a movie called If. There's a TV series short called Fava Mucka. There's Everyday Parenting Tips, Deadpool 3, Dragon's Lair, and Clue. So, like, he's a busy man.
Some of those are getting pushed, I bet. There's no way all of those sustain themselves.
Speaking of busy, we got this trailer for Nope from Jordan Peele. And I wish I was excited for this. I really do.
No, really?
I'm like, what are we doing? I will say that I absolutely loved Keke Palmer's bits in this. I was like, I'm sold on her. Daniel Kaluuya a lot of times ends up playing the same role to me. Like his demeanor is the same. I'm hopeful that this turns out good. I think the people are theorizing that Nope stands for Not of Planet Earth.
Oh, this is a big thing. Okay.
Yeah. But hey, like any Jordan Peele film, we totally are left in the dark with what's actually happening.
Well, what I like about this is that that would make sense because us standing for US. But like, what I really like about the Jordan Peele movies is that they're the ones that are going to hopefully, if God forbid the variance, this is going to be the kind of stuff that saves theaters. Because people go to the theaters for the Jordan Peele movies. I remember I saw Us in the middle of the day one time, and it was packed. And Us is not the kind of movie that gets packed. Get Out was like this small time hit that like all of a sudden packed the theaters and like became as large as it did. I think going to the theater is what you want to do in a Jordan Peele movie because that's part of the fun of it. Or at least in the past two, that was what was going on. And that's what I'm looking forward to here. I'd say I completely agree with you with Keke Palmer. That was like just some of the greatest energy. I absolutely had a blast, like just watching her introduce it. Daniel Kaluuya, just very tired and bored. Also, though, just saying one line, so who knows what he's going to be doing. Stephen Yeun, once again, just up there making a face. But in general, like the cast looks fun. It's a Peele movie, so what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to see it. A lot of people are going to discuss it, and there's going to be people that like it, and there's going to be people that don't like it. And that's that's any movie, I guess. But in this case, there's something special about it when he's doing it, where it's going to bring people together.
Yeah.
Man, you are not in for the Peele stuff. I know. We've talked about the Peele coaster. You're not down.
But I mean, when we're talking about Jordan Peele, we're not talking about a ton of movies, right? So like, he's had some that have been, I think, really fascinating. Like Get Out definitely was the one that everyone was like, whoa, like right off the bat. Us, I think people were more split on. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
no, you have the right idea. There's
now.
not a large sample size. That is true. Like I'm someone that loves both Get Out and Us for insatiably different reasons. Because like Get Out is this accessible, lovely, fun thriller that has kind of a message, and Us is like hardly fun and a lot of message that you really have to dig into, and also is not logically making any sense. So it's like but you got to just accept that, and that's really impossible to do. And so I look at Nope and I'm like, this is gonna do, like he's gonna go even further. So he is going to freak people out even more because he's getting just more money. He's getting more agency's not the word. He's getting more wiggle room in order to kind of do this stuff, just like those little wiggle balloons in the trailer.
We'll see. All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl of movie trailers this weekend. The one that had everyone freaking out, of course, is Marvel. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We got this wild fucking trailer for it that really, I think, I remember after Spider-Man No Way Home, I was like, ooh, don't know about this. And then I saw this trailer. I was like, you motherfuckers. Like, here we go again. But there's a lot going on in this trailer. We should start with talking about the poster and everyone that people believe they see on the poster. Have you heard about all this?
So I have almost like desperately tried to not look at this poster because
you're on a movie podcast. You're not avoiding this.
I'm worried I'm gonna like die in 7 days or something like that, and I'll just like see the way I die. Or,
this is
like,
true.
True. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know Deadpool's on it already, which that just is sending people in a tailspin.
I mean, it's not confirmed, but
exactly.
And like, of course, Ryan Reynolds is coming out being like, I swear I'm not in this movie. Although, like last week, he posted a picture of what looked like a test fitting with the wardrobe person for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So it was like, dude, and it's since been deleted. But I think that's like part of the Marvel playbook now. But other things that you can see on the poster are Captain Carter's shield, Rintrah, who is the Mystic Minotaur from the comics, the new a new Captain Marvel logo. Loki is believed to have been seen on there. Other people are saying they saw Cyclops and the Juggernaut, like all kinds of random shit. But we should talk about the actual trailer and some of the things in there. There's a scene where Strange is arrested, and it looks like he is it's the Ultron bots. Like, what would have happened if the Ultron bots actually were successful? This is linked to a variant of Iron Man. I believe it's Supreme Iron Man. Get ready, because I did a deep dive to like understand all this.
I thought I did, but apparently I didn't.
And the Supreme Iron Man is rumored to be played by Tom Cruise.
I did hear that, yeah.
So that's happening. He's brought before what people believe is the Marvel Illuminati, which is like the strongest variants, or I believe that's right, the strongest variants that are there to like keep the universe in check. There's a lot of organizations in Marvel that are there to keep the universe in check. But we hear who is believed to be Patrick Stewart as Professor X. If you break down the images of Doctor Strange walking into this like courtroom type thing, it looks like people are saying it looks like Reed Richards is there. Like, it might be a Fantastic Four thing. People are saying as well that it's probably a variant. So we might get John Krasinski as him, but not like the real, like John Krasinski won't play him in the future. It's just basically Reddit on screen is what I believe this is going to be. There's what else? There's other talk of
there was a Wakanda chair apparently, or like a chair designed with sort of a Wakanda situation where, you know, normally T'Challa would sit there, but someone else possibly is sitting there. That's one of the speculations I received. But there's basically, I think, 6 chairs in total.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because the writer of this Multiverse of Madness also did several episodes of Rick and Morty, and Rick and Morty has the known of variance type of situation where like there's several different Ricks, and there's a council of Ricks that sit in a chair as Rick, you know, gets, you know, like,
well, the original Illuminati is Doctor Strange, Professor X, Reed Richards, Iron Man, Black Bolt, and Namor. Who is kind of like the Atlantean of Marvel, who's rumored to be the main antagonist in Black Panther 2. So, of course, a lot of links there going on. A couple other things to point out. There's a scene where like everyone seems to be like breaking down as they're jumping into different universes, or just different dimensions it would be. And there's some what if callbacks in terms of how he's breaking down.
Yeah.
People have pointed out that there's one part that like looks like it's comic behind there. Like, it's actually like a like X-Men 97 is what people believe it is, because they're saying that's the way they're going to show the X-Men, which would be kind of interesting and fun, I think. And then it also just looks like we're getting really crazy off the wall Wanda in this, which I'm all for. She is there. People have you seen this whole thing about the scene that was first shown after Spider-Man No Way Home, where it's
like the like I wasn't in Westview, or I'm not here to talk about Westview or something. Yeah.
Well, people have kind of like juxtaposed that against something they showed in this one, and it's Doctor Strange dressed the same way, and it's a similar conversation, but they think it's a projection essentially. Like, he showed up and she's projecting what he's saying. So just so much to unravel there. And it's successful because they did exactly what they wanted to do, is get everyone talking about it and theorizing about it. And we still have 3 months to go before the movie even comes out.
I mean, I just want to like sort of beyond all the details and stuff, which of course I do, I scoff at, but I do read about and I do listen about in podcasts and everything. So I'm up to date on as many as I can be. The trailer looks really cool. Like, this looked visually great.
Yeah.
This looked like something that, while it does look confusing and out of sight and kind of nuts the entire time, it still does look like this absolutely fun ride. And it was so smart to have those crazy visuals and then have, like, either whatever they said, a Sam Raimi film directed from Sam Raimi, whatever they said, but putting Sam Raimi's name in there, saying like, hey, this is going to be a crazy ride, but this guy has done a lot of crazy rides. So get on board. You're going to have fun. You know what? Raimi was given like a list of like shit to put in this. And like, it was a bunch of crap. And he's like, all right, I'll figure this out. And, Derrickson's involved, so he's figuring it out too. And so they're just getting involved. And this is going to, I really have like a lot of faith in this. I love the idea of Wanda as the, quote unquote antagonist / villain. I think that's a good idea. We're looking at the villain that you could possibly identify with. Some people were saying that there was some people got upset about it. I want to address this for a second. The gender based sort of situation where she said, I got in trouble or I broke the rules and I got in trouble. You broke the rules and you're a hero and stuff like that. And, then the requirement back is that, well, he broke the rules for saving the world, and she did it to because of past love. I think that, the argument you could say in this is they both broke the rules and they are both facing consequences for it. And these are the consequences they have to face. And I think that's how we should look at this a little bit more. I heard that from a few people that I know and love on Instagram. So, I respect their opinions. Usually I think they got a little bit of the masculine defensive kind of area there. So I just kind of wanted to put that in perspective.
Well, it's the same thing when people started coming out about Captain Marvel being very excited that they were getting a female superhero. Now they're getting a strong female villain, and people are trying to undercut it again. But my issue with it is we don't even know the context of that line in the film.
Very good.
We don't know what else is going on. You haven't seen the fucking movie yet. So let's stop tearing things apart before we see them. You same people that complain about review bombing. Let's calm down there. Let's move on. We got the Moon Knight trailer, a different look at Moon Knight. I was really into this. I thought this one looked really solid. I thought it was a little bit better than the other one. What did you think about that one?
Yeah, this is way better. This was way better, and it was great because there were some friends of mine who haven't seen the first one who were at the Super Bowl party, and I just pointed this, and they were like, ooh, a movie with Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. And I'm like, no, it's a TV series. Wow, a TV series with Oscar Isaac and what is it, on HBO Max? No. It's a Marvel series. And just the levels that I had to go down there to slowly realize.
We'll get you there, baby bird.
There you are. Nope. This is gonna be something great. And it's really, really, really fun. This showed everything in a much more clearer perspective, which, guess what? You shouldn't have to show everything in a clearer perspective because this is going to be confusing as hell. So it's going to be tough to see it anyway. But it was I don't know. I felt like I understood what this series was about a little bit more, even though I'm still left in the dark, which is good.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. We also got the first look at Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. I know people were very split on this. I think this was more so a teaser to just introduce, look what we're doing. Here, it's real. The $400 million we spent on the first season is real. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited to give it a chance and see where they go with it. I believe did they already renew this for season 2?
Oh, God. I mean, they renewed it for season 45. They need this to work.
Yeah, it's true. The investment's huge.
For the love of God, our Amazon monthlies are going to go up to $300 a month if we have to. I will say I didn't like the trailer. I didn't like the way it looked. It looked very The Hobbit instead of very The Lord of the Rings, which very, very clean characters, very, very CGI. That worries me. Don't spend that much money on that kind of stuff. So that does worry me. I don't like complaining about CGI. I feel like a loser when I do that. But in this case, I was just these look like Final Fantasy characters. I'm getting a little bit worried. I still love
cheap.
Yeah, right.
It looks very cheap.
Maybe they're gonna enhance a little more. I don't know. It's just something where it's please have actual actors, because it just looked a little bit weird. I will say, I am still excited for this like storyline, which is kind of like, what is it, the Sauron battle and stuff like that. That sounds amazing. That's something I've always wanted to see. So I'm ready for it in that regard. But other than that, fix that look and then I'll be happy.
Let's talk about Fresh. So we got the first trailer for Fresh that is coming to Hulu on March 4th. It was at Sundance, and I love this movie. It was such a blast. It is a wild ride, and I highly recommend it. I originally told you not to watch it and go into it blind. I think they did a good job of like not going too much into what this is really.
I won't lie. I think I know the quote unquote twist, and I think I'm not gonna like mind. And I won't say like anything, but like I think I feel like I know what's going to like turn. And even if I don't, and even if I do, I'm still gonna be like goofing off and having a happy time with it.
It's a wild ride. I'm excited for it to be available wide, I should say. I'm very excited for people to see it. Because it was an adventure. Like again, 45 minutes in, you get the opening credits, and then chaos reigns.
I'm just happy that the normal people actors are getting some work there. Daisy Edgar Jones was amazing. Paul Mescal is great in The Lost Daughter, and it's The Lost Daughter, but but is like just so they're getting their work. They're branching out, so I'm happy they're getting some stuff done.
Let's talk about our final trailer. This is the this is the like drug-induced CGI / animation trip Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which I have been excited about because I love Chippendale, but I have to tell you that this looks batshit crazy and I don't know what to expect. I mean, there's so many different like cameos, if you will, in here, which is insane. And then Andy Samberg and John Mulaney as the voices do not fit for me whatsoever.
No, God, no. God, not one bit.
Not one bit.
They're supposed to be squeaky voices.
I need squeaky. Like, I need Alvin and the Chipmunk squeaky. Like, that's what I need. Oh, God. They're trying to have a lot of fun with this, it seems, and, like, just embrace the crazy. But I don't know.
There's doing meta, and then there's sticking your head up your own ass. And then they're sticking your head up your own ass and using your tonsils as a speed bag. You're up there so much. Like, this is the last of those. This is something where I see, you know, one of them's like, oh, I got the CGI surgery. And it's like, I got to be honest, I did chuckle a little bit. But then when I'm walking around where one character is flat animated and the other one is CGI for the movie, I'm like, okay, this is something that I don't know if this is going to be something that can really occur. I think, you know, they're trying. Yeah, you're right. They're trying to be self-referential. It's like, who needs a Chippendales movie? And then it's like, that's just not going to work here. You just make something that's like, make something legitimate with these two characters. That would have been kind of a cool thing. Instead, they made them celebrities that like broke up because of like, you know, coke habits and stuff like that. And, you know, I
coke habits.
I mean, hey, you know what? That's what they're going for. I don't know, but like, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously still going to watch it. I love those characters, but I just don't know what to. I don't even know what the story is. Someone said that afterwards. They're like, "Do you understand what the story is here?" And I think it's something to do with like hypnotic cheese or something.
Oh yeah, that was like a one-off joke. I thought. I didn't think that was the entire story.
There's a line before that, right? Before, if you're referring to the rat that's sitting there just going,
He's just like, give me more cheese.
If you're referring to that, there's a line before it that says something about cheese and like it being, I don't know.
I think I didn't notice because one of the characters was CGI and the other one was animated 2-dimensional.
I do think the shock of it was like the problem for a while because the whole trailer I was just like, and then what's his name pops up, Roger Rabbit, and I'm like, what? What are we doing here?
That's just like putting the Clockwork Orange crew in Space Jam, where it's like, you know what? Let's just go for the mold and like just like break it. Let's just everything we can.
Hopefully, it's better than Space Jam. All right, there are all the trailers that we wanted to talk about. There is a lot coming out. There's more that we could have focused on. Go to guyatthemovies.com to find all of them and more because Lord knows we're going to get more coming soon. Get it? Coming soon. All right. Let's dive into what we've been watching. And we're going to start off talking about I Want You Back. This is the comedy, romantic comedy with Jenny Slate and Charlie Day that went to Amazon Prime Video. I personally love this movie. It's written by the people behind Love, Simon. I thought it was just a really hilarious, well done film. It doesn't reinvent these movies at all, but it's a good ride, and I really enjoyed it. And it gets to the point where it ends on a pretty like kind of note, like you saw that coming a mile away, but at the same time it worked perfectly for me. And after thinking about it, I was like, yeah, this is a 5 out of 5 for me, because both of them were hilarious. Even Scott Eastwood in his role was solid. Gina Rodriguez was the only one that I was like, are you here? Like, what are you in this? But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I love the chemistry between Day and Slate. I thought that they played off of each other really well, and they were able to break away from the characters that we all are like, that they're synonymous with, right? So Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Mona Lisa from Parks and Recreation.
Let's hope we can break from her.
Oh my God. Give me monies. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But I really enjoyed myself here.
Yeah, I mean, like the really the most important part of this is, we could call this a romantic comedy if we want. Yes, there's a romance involved in this, but this is just like straight comedy to the veins. I mean, like Sam and I were on the couch laughing uproariously, losing our breath, like having the hardest time with like we had to like rewind a few scenes because we would just keep on going. It was like just so funny. And yeah, it was like Charlie Day with that comedic energy that really does feel natural, like kind of scary natural, like where he just like it just like effortless every time where he goes. And then Jenny Slate, we're just like the same level of like playing right off of him, because that's a tough energy to play off of. And we found that with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for 15 seasons. Those are like the only people that like have been able to actually like play off Charlie Day, because Charlie Day has been in other movies and he's been great, but it's been really tough for the other people to catch up, and those are also great.
My brother goes, "Oh, is he from Horrible Bosses?" I was like, "And It's Always Sunny." Like,
I love horror. Is he from Horrible Boss? I mean, great, good for him, but like, no, but I mean, this was great. I would say like the one thing that bugged me about it, and it's like, I think it's almost me being nitpicky, and Sam was very mad at my grade. I gave it a B, but it was just like this little bit of a nitpicky thing is that third act just like had this like a little bit too serious of a twist to it, that it felt off from the rest of the film. Mm-hmm. And then it did save itself with a very, very, like you said, well-earned sweet ending like that I just really liked. But that was the one thing where it's like, not to say like, those two actors can't do a serious role, but it just like something about it just didn't really work. And you're right. Gina Rodriguez was unfortunately just not given enough.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, she still was good with her role, but just really given less. And thank God Scott Eastwood finally didn't play an asshole. He was so close to playing an asshole.
He was very close. He was on that line.
Oh, and how insulted were you by the, well, we'll just say, to not spoil it, the cameo of the father in this.
Cameo of the father. What am I missing?
All right, I'll say it. We're about to spoil it for 2 quick seconds. Ben McKenzie showing up.
Oh, I was like,
what? That was the meanest thing for our generation. It's like, oh, now he's the father of teens.
Well, and I was trying to explain that. I watched this with my parents, and I was trying to explain to them like that. Do you remember the OC? Do you remember Gotham? Do you remember he was on? What was that other show? What was that other show he was on? Southland, right? It wasn't Southland.
Oh my God, Southland!
He's forgot about a good amount of shows.
Oh, Southland was great.
That part was funny in that movie when he's like, I want to have a daughter myself at one point and a little boy to play with. Wait, that didn't come out with.
When he comes in there, we just lost it. That was a great cameo.
Yeah, that was really good. I also really enjoyed the chemistry between Eastwood and Day. So like when they're like going running or whatever and they're eating the pies or whatnot, and afterwards Eastwood's like, oh, we should run back, and right away Day just goes, fuck no.
Just immediately
it's like this dry delivery, and I love that. And that's, Slate played off of it really well. You said this, like, to play off of that is impressive as a comedian. And she did that really well. Like, he would say something ridiculous and she'd be like, yeah, you're right. Just move on.
He's trying to hide in the closet and it's just a bunch of shelves. He's like, you fucking kidding me?
And
we
that's
can't
why,
just do this. We're gonna just do this.
I know, and that's why I like the third act, because I thought it was real. Like, how would these people that were doing this shit the whole movie react when everything popped up? This is how they would react.
So finally they hit it. Okay, so that is a solid point for that ending.
Oh God, I really enjoyed it though.
Oh,
It was
man.
so much fun. Let's talk about. I'm gonna jump into what I've been watching. So I've been watching a lot of random movies, a lot of different types of movies, and I'm gonna start off with Blacklight.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Blacklight is a movie that exists, and it's once again a Liam Neeson movie. It's the same old Liam Neeson movie, and I gave it a 2 out of 5. It had potential. Like, the story could have been good, but it was just so rushed and all over the place. Neeson's definitely a draw for like older generations. My parents love him. Like, their friends love him. I think that's why he continues to do well at the box office for, those low level cheap movies. But like, the director here has some talent. He worked with him on, oh God, what's the other one that he did with him? He did another
one, the train one.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
It wasn't meant to be a dig on him, but yeah, that is like,
I can't remember which one, because there's just been so many in the past couple of years. But he did another one with him, and I keep feeling like there's a lot there that would work if you had a better person leading the film. And Neeson's just so dry in a different way than Charlie Day. Just like one track delivery, and I'm sure that you can find that dialogue somewhere else in his filmography. Because it all just sounds the same. It's copy and paste, and it unfortunately didn't work for me at all. I was just very bored, and I have to tell you, I still don't understand the title to this day. I still don't know why it's Blacklight. Our buddy Nick's Flicks Talk. I still hate that he makes me tongue tied when I say that. From Australia, just posted his review, and I commented, "But what does the title mean?" And nobody knows.
I thought someone told me, but I can't remember now. But like, I thought I heard it somewhere. But
it's something along the lines of like this is all happening. Like, they can't see that it's happening, but it's happening. So it's kind of like a black light. Like, you pull. I don't know.
So usually I hate when that dumb line is said in a movie, but in this case, yeah, throw that in there.
But that's not said there.
Exactly. I would have rather had it but thrown in. Like, that would have been a good time to put it in there.
The other one that I watched, I was able to see Uncharted last night, which comes out on Friday. This, of course, is the video game adaptation starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Listen, in terms of a video game adaptation, I don't know what to think, because I've never played the video games. But in terms of a fun adventure film, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I really enjoyed it. Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are really good together, and it's pretty action packed. It's kind of like I was saying, the Da Vinci Code meets Tomb Raider in a way, with maybe a little bit of like the Mummy, like the feeling of the Mummy mixed in there. The supporting cast is what really made it for me. Sophia Ali and Tati Gabrielle, who are just these incredibly powerful supporting characters that play into twists and turns and developments. And even Antonio Banderas is pretty solid in his role. The pullbacks for me are that one, or the drawbacks, I should say, are that one, the humor is not total. It doesn't always totally hit. It's very family oriented and PG, and like you can tell. And I feel like it would have been a little bit better had they gone a little edgier, but they clearly are going for that franchise. And the other point that I am completely drawing a blank on is that it really, I mean, it doesn't do anything new in terms of like the type of action film that you're seeing, right? Like I said, it's a combination of other stuff. It's not anything like earth shattering or whatnot, but it's just still really good and a lot of fun. The performances make it better. Ruben Fleischer was the director, and he was, I think he did a great job with it. And it's very clear that they're aiming to make this a franchise, like I said, and I'm here for it. It left me wanting more. So it's not getting the best reviews. I think a lot of people that are fans of the games are disappointed in the adaptation, but not being familiar with that, I still had a great time.
That might be what like helps me out, because I'm not familiar with the game at all, so I'll be able to like possibly enjoy it. That'll be I got break coming up, so I'm going to be checking those movies out. Without
there you go. The other thing I'll share though is that Tom Holland is just really elevating himself in every movie I've been seeing him in. Like granted, we all loved his performance in Spider-Man: No Way Home, but I think before that, like seeing him in Cherry, right? He was not great in Cherry. He didn't have a lot of good stuff to work with. I would say.
I still think he's good in Cherry. Cherry just sucked.
Like, yeah. And what was the other one? The Devil All the Time. Was that the
same
one?
the same exact problem? He was given way more than the movie was offering.
But in this, he's like, there's times where number one, when I was walking out, someone was talking to one of the publicists and was saying, like, how do you move your body that way? How do you contort yourself? And like, he's a really good action star. But he also like flips on the emotion at one point in this where I was just like, damn, Tom, like you bring it. He's a joy to watch. And I jokingly said to the guy last night, to the rep, like, this is like the Tom Holland era for us, right? Like he's getting all these roles and hitting them really well. So I'm excited for that. It's cool to have someone to follow like that, who is a talent that is continuing to develop. Thinking about his first time on screen with Spider-Man, when we first saw him widely, to what he's doing now is just really quite special to watch.
I mean, just like, God help us if I jinx this right now, but like the ultimate Hollywood couple right now is like him and Zendaya, who are just like the talent level and the success level that's going on with those two is just skyrocketing. Both of them at like the same levels.
It's my Brad and Jen. They are my Brad and Jen.
It's unbelievable. It's just like, and you just love the two of them together as well. I mean, it's something where it's like, I just like want my students to be like, pay more attention to this. Look at this. And they're just like, we like the other plot lines in Euphoria. I'm like, okay, well.
I saw a video on TikTok today, getting off track a little bit, but it was with those two again, Zendaya and Tom Holland. And it was with Jacob Italian as well, doing press for, I believe it had to be No Way Home. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about how Tom Holland spoiled the end of Endgame with Tony Stark dying for them. And Zendaya's like, I would have loved it, but I already knew it was going to happen because of someone. And Tom's like, who said that? They're just adorable. I'm going to send them a housewarming gift.
That sounds good. Oh, yeah, I heard they just bought their, $4 million house. That feels great as hunting for houses now. That feels wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm fantastic about that. Yeah.
Go on House Hunters.
Yeah, that sounds good. I have a budget of $6 million? No, dollars. So when it comes to my movies that I saw about 20 movies this week. So I'm narrowing it down to 2. And I figured it was the shortest movie I saw and the longest movie I saw. So when the nominations came out, I was very disgruntled that I didn't see every single Best Picture nomination yet. So I scooted my ass to the theater the moment I could to see Drive My Car. Drive My Car is, I remember sitting back in the chair while watching this movie and thinking, this is the greatest movie ever made by a human that I have ever seen. Now, I came down a little bit from that, but that just shows you how really, truly amazing this movie is. Now, I'm worried, my companion there, Joe, we have had our disagreements about some of the Best Picture nominees this year, and some of the reasons why were because the movies are, maybe long, maybe boring, maybe some stuff didn't happen, or like maybe like the proper stuff didn't happen in them, or just like nothing happened in them, or things like that. I do worry when you see this movie because it is a 3-hour Japanese film where a guy gets driven around by the driver, and he also adapts a Chomsky play. Excuse me, Anton Chekhov play. Not Anton Chekhov, that's the good Chekhov play. But pretty much I lost all of that. But anyway, so you could argue that this is slow moving, but there's so much humanity and there's so much passion in this. And then there's these scenes that are directed with this like unique ferocity, even though they're in a goddamn car, where I'm just feeling so much emotion and so much stress. And the stress is only for how these people are doing inside and how they're feeling inside. I really this movie did such a number on me and showed such a humanity on me, and is also crafted so well that I'm just sort of overblown by like how much I loved it. Once again, 3 hours, it's a tough sit. Once again, foreign film, tough sit. Like those two things make it difficult, I know, but trust me, some of the best movies I've seen are international features. Drive My Car is going to win some awards, most likely international feature at the Oscars, but it's great that it's getting these other honors. but man, did it blow me away. Whew.
Well, Lord knows I love movies like this, like that are character studies, essentially. I'm very big into that. I don't know what you're referencing when it comes to Best Picture, because I like just about every Best Picture
Power of the Dog.
except for Power of the Dog, which I just thought was a poor movie.
You said boring.
It was boring, but that doesn't mean that every movie like that I'm going to think is boring.
I'm just saying, like I got worried about that situation. I think you might like Drive My Car still, but I had my concerns.
Okay.
Just like this is like when you had your assumptions about me before Eternals and they were incorrect.
What?
When you were just like, oh, he's gonna hate Eternals, and it turns out I liked Eternals.
I don't think I said you were gonna hate Eternals.
Not like.
What?
You had a list of things that I was gonna not like about Eternals.
And if you go back to your review, those were the things you didn't like.
yeah, Sprite sucked. All right, so, all right, what was I talking about anyway? Oh yeah, so Drive My Car, see it immediately, see it great.
We should mention that it's going to HBO Max on March 2nd.
Okay, so I did hear that from like there's a student that also loves a lot of movies, and they said that, and I was like, oh wow, like HBO Max. Do you know what studio it's under that caused that? Yeah, I was wondering that as well.
I know that I think a lot of them are starting to make plays for a lot of the streamers are starting to make plays for the Best Picture. So Hulu has Titane, Spencer, two others that are not Best Picture, but like top releases.
Still, Oscar, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm trying to remember the other two because I was surprised.
Nightmare Alley was one of them. Nightmare Alley, but Nightmare Alley had some sort of deal previous that was going on, and that actually happened before the nominations. But like I remember just seeing Nightmare Alley on HBO Max and Hulu, which was a huge surprise.
That was very surprising to me as well. Trying to look real quick to see what just popped on there. And I am missing it right now. So if I after you talk about your next movie, hopefully.
All right, cool. All right, so my next movie is the movie that is 80 minutes long, and that is, I don't, sometimes runtimes are great when they're 2 hours. Sometimes runtimes are too long when they're 2 hours, but it's great when you see an 80-minute movie and it packs everything in that you can. This movie is called Kimi, and it is on HBO Max. It is spelled Kimi. It's basically a Siri-like technology device that, obviously listens to you when you make a request. But what it does is, like, if you have like a weird interaction with it, like, the Siri doesn't understand or the Kimi doesn't understand, it records it records it and it sends it to a human, and that human begins to program it so Kimi can be a better device for you. Here's where the problem lies. One of those people who is basically an agoraphobic and is, dealing with the anxiety that she's dealt with in the pandemic, is pretty much then also like one of those programmers. And here's like a bunch of the different things. Then here's a murder. And so then has to figure out what to do in order to like figure this out. This movie is unbelievable. Now, this is a classic caper. This is like very like, you can see where this is going. Like when you heard me describe that plot, you're like, oh, okay, I know where it's going. And you know what? It goes down those areas. There's nothing that's going to like twist you or surprise you in this. It's a fun chase, madcap, like goofy story. However, the fun little twist possibly is that it's one of the Steven Soderbergh HBO Max films, which he's done quite a few of them, including Let Them All Talk and one other one that I am not able to think of right now. But Let Them All Talk, the one is like just like absolutely amazing. But Kimi is interesting because Soderbergh uses a lot of his crazy visual styles to make this first like this paranoia stricken sort of like, claustrophobic type of movie. And then this cat and mouse chase, which is like both sides of this are just absolutely wonderful. Oh man, I really love this movie. It was so exciting the whole way. It was a blast. Like the 80 minutes go by. People say there's third act problems. I will say I will sit down with those people, have a cup of gazpacho,
Nancy Pelosi's Police.
And I will say I agree with you. There probably could be some third act problems, but I don't think those third act problems necessarily need to be addressed because this is a survival story and nothing more. Oh my goodness. Also, Rita Wilson's in it.
Oh.
Yeah, which is like kind of awesome when all of a sudden I saw Rita Wilson and I was like, hey, Rita! She looked great.
I am getting concerned about third act issues.
With me?
Kind
with
of.
me. Yeah. Hey, sometimes I ignore them. I ignored these.
I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about that more. Here are the
No,
movies. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I agree with you. I tend to like look at the third act a little bit more because it's the one that lags in the brain towards the end anyway. But I love a good ending. I love a good sealer and stuff. But this one, and I'm telling you, as I was critical with the third act on this one, and I'm piecing this one apart, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like what it does. I can see why a lot of people do not like what's going on in this third act, but I kind of like what this does. So this was a personal affection of mine.
The Academy Award nominees that are on Hulu: Summer of Soul, Nightmare Alley, Spencer, and Flea.
When?
Now it's on.
What?
It's on. It popped up randomly. I saw it today and was like, oh.
Flea has been on Hulu probably for longer than now. I'm watching some Christopher Walken 1990 movie, King of New York, and Flea is on Hulu. Flea is on Hulu. Holy shit.
It's
my
good.
God.
It's so good.
Oh my God. I'm like sitting there with the Flea being highlighted because I haven't seen it yet on my nominees list. Oh, Flea is on Hulu. I know what I'm doing tonight. Forget the Yeezus documentary. It's Flea, baby.
Also, 4 Good Days with that terrible wig on Glenn Close is on there as well.
I'm sure that has been on Hulu for many, many years.
It's on there as a nominee, and I'm like, what is it? What? And I forgot.
Diane Warren, baby, 18th nominee.
Oh my God. So we had quite a lot to watch. There's some stuff coming out this week that we'll talk about in a little bit, but I'm going to be sharing some reviews. There's a horror movie called The Cursed that's coming out, which is pretty fascinating. I just watched that last night, and I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre tonight.
Oh, I'm excited for you there.
I can't wait.
I can't believe that it's this weekend, right?
Yeah, Friday.
That's just silly.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, should we do a 7th inning stretch here?
7th inning stretch meaning I go to the bathroom.
Go for it.
Yeah,
I'll just sit here and do.
can't believe Flea is on Hulu. Oh,
you need to watch it. You need to watch it.
I'm so upset. I'm very happy, but I'm so upset that
it had to have just been like the past day or two. Because
had to have. I would have because I would I'm tracking this shit like crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey, we have some breaking news. Peacemaker himself will star in the Looney Tunes movie Coyote versus Acme. It is a hybrid animation live action thing. I just saw on Slash Film, which is a website I really like to read, and I know one of the guys there that I enjoy talking to when I'm at screenings in Philly. It said like, wait, hold on, let me get it right. Human Looney Tune John Cena joins Coyote versus Acme.
That's actually pretty good.
I thought that was solid. But this is going to follow Wile E. Coyote, who, after Acme products fail him one too many times in his dogged pursuit of the Roadrunner, decides to hire a billboard lawyer to sue the Acme Corporation. The case pits Wile E. and his lawyer against the latter's intimidating former boss, John Cena, but a growing friendship between man and cartoon stoked their determination to win.
I actually, you know what? That sounds kind of cool.
Oh, dear God.
That sounds kind of cool. I don't know. I mean, like, it's John Cena. This does make me think that this news came on the same day that Peacemaker got renewed for a season 2. Do you think there was some sort of negotiation where it's like, listen, We'll give you season 2 of Peacemaker if you star in this piece of shit Warner Brothers movie that we're gonna give out. That's gonna be on HBO Max.
Well, I'll tell you what was interesting is earlier they were doing the earnings report, I guess it was, for Warner Media and all that, and maybe it was that, I don't know. But Anne, what's her name from HBO Max, was talking about Peacemaker 2 or Peacemaker season 2, and she's like, yeah, like we haven't made a decision and it's done really well for us though. And then like an hour later, they're like, Peacemaker renewed for season 2. I'm like, what? Huh? But hey, that's kind of cool. I'm excited for it. Peacemaker 2, that is. Here's what else I'm excited for. Anthony Ramos of In the Heights stardom, as well as Hamilton, has joined the upcoming Ironheart series for Disney Plus. The series is going to star Dominique Thorne in the lead as Riri Williams, a young genius inventor who creates a new advanced suit a la Iron Man. And the rumor has it that the role that Ramos is stepping into is a larger one. Or will be a larger one down the road, similar to how Kang was introduced as a variant in, I almost said WandaVision, but Loki. This is such interesting casting. You and I were talking about this, and I can't see Ramos. I guess playing a larger role down the road, I immediately thought of a villain, but now that I'm speaking out loud, I'm like, oh, it doesn't necessarily have to be a villain.
No, and there's no way that face can be a villain. Like that face, look at that face that looks at you during In the Heights and says good morning, and it's just like, oh, come on,
good morning.
Hey yo, good morning. It's like, no, you're not a villain, buddy. Look at you. No, I mean, like, if God, no, he's just such a cutie. I don't know why. I'm just like, I'm opening your article and I'm looking at the face, and so I just got to look at it so I can have a better opinion. Yeah, so I think that the actor himself will do very well in several different Marvel properties if he is able to sustain that character. That was me being serious and not looking at the Anthony Ramos face. Now I'm gonna open up the Anthony Ramos face. Oh, look at him.
Yeah. I am looking at a website real quick that's pulling together rumors of who he's playing or who he could be playing, and someone's mentioning Clayton Cole, who is like a Spider-Man villain that Riri goes up against in the comics. He's also known as Clash. He's similarly a genius and invented a sonic pulse generator. That doesn't sound big enough to me. Someone else said, what about like a mentor figure?
That could be,
but I don't think that makes sense, because I'm on the Mary Sue right now, and as they mention, the character of Ironheart's going to debut in Black Panther first. Panther Wakanda Forever. So I kind of see that mentorship role filled. And then there's Victor Mancha, who is the android cyborg, is the son of Ultron in Marvel Comics. That sounds weird. Don't even want to look at that.
Let's not do that. Whatever. Like Disney Plus. I know there's several Disney Plus executives listening. Let's not do that. Like, let's have them do something else.
Someone said, what if this is a way to introduce Johnny Storm?
He would make an amazing Johnny Storm, though.
They say in here, he's don't you think his energy would be perfect for the Human Torch? I'm like,
he would make an amazing Johnny Storm. Now I want that more than whatever he's going to be in this series.
That would be Kang level casting.
Yeah, because I don't know where Johnny Storm goes, but I guess you're a Marvel character, you can go wherever you want. Like these days, I mean.
That would be so fucking cool.
Oh, now that that's in my head, it's going to ruin whatever it's actually going to be.
Does Ironheart ever interact with Fantastic Four? My Google search says
50 years of comics. There has to be.
I don't understand what it.
Well, if it doesn't understand, it's going to report a murder, like Kimmy.
I'm about to report a murder, and it's at the box office in 2023 because Christopher Nolan has taken every actor in Hollywood and puts them into his Oppenheimer movie.
Whoa! Segway King! Segway King! Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Let's talk about what's going on with this series. Here's who is not playing them, because they're playing in this movie, because that's the easy. No, I'm kidding. This is the movie.
Marshmallow Man.
He's in it. This is the movie that stars Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Josh Hartnett, Dane DeHaan, and Rami Malek. As of yesterday, the most recent addition was Jack Quaid of The Boys and Scream, which I think is a great addition to this cast. Today we found out that we have Matthew Modine added, who you were excited about when I
I
said
was
that.
very excited to hear Matthew Modine.
And then we have Dylan Arnold, who was he was in You most recently and Halloween Kills, but in You he was the he's the neighbor boy, or the boy that she kind of crushes on.
Okay.
So cool. And then Ali has I'm gonna butcher his name, Haskivi, who I haven't looked up to see what he's in, but he was in Manifest. Was really the big. Oh, he's in Falcon and Winter Soldier for something, but it doesn't say for what. So there's a lot going on there. This movie sounds like it's going to be insane, and of course is about Robert Oppenheimer, who was the architect of the atomic bomb, or referred to as that. I said this to you offline, but how big is this budget?
I mean, I do wonder eventually where this goes. Jack Quaid is climbing the ranks as a pretty solid, notable star. He could be in 1 to 2 scenes. Like this could be and not like as like a hey, look at that cameo, or just like as someone who like helps them with a certain problem with this or something like that. Like at this point, these are the other people that are being cast. Like they had their central cast, they're moving on with their script. I think these people are going to be like small roles, very, very small roles that may appear in like they have like a couple of days of filming. So
that, or he was tapped to play a role in this and they couldn't figure it out until they figured out when Scream 2 was well, no, he's dead. Sure. Never mind. Spoiler. Yeah, well, do you think he's playing the bomb? Like they ran out of money for the CGI, so they're just going to have him going. Ooh.
Modine is definitely someone who fits the schematics of a nuclear bomb. Schematics. That's not a word.
It's definitely a word.
It's a word, but it's not the right word. I mean, that's all I care about is if it's the right word or the wrong word.
Moving on to the next one. This is equally crazy casting going on, but we have the Barbie movie that has long been gestating.
Go with that.
This is Greta Gerwig's movie that she's going to direct from a script that she wrote with hubby Noah Baumbach. They have Margot Robbie playing Barbie. Ryan Gosling is also in this after originally, I think, turning it down, and then his schedule freed up and he was in it. Then we found out that America Ferrera, who I always think and relate back to Ugly Betty back in the day, that she was cast in this. And then we found out that Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, was cast in this. And then earlier today, Kate McKinnon was added to this cast. What the fuck is going on with this movie?
I mean, when it's just Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, I'm still baffled and confused that Greta Gerwig is making a Barbie movie, because I don't know, is this going to be an animated Lego type movie that like is self-referential? Is this a live act? So this is a live action thing. Now, is it a live action that's still going to be referencing some kind of like Barbie world, or is this going to be a live action that is just like, a woman in a pink car all the time driving around? Or is it going to be something that like references the evolution of the different types of the Barbie?
That's what I think.
How do you do that? Like, are you like, it's so, I need this script to link, and I've never like read a script before, like seeing a movie before. I find that baffling for the people to do that. I would read the absolute hell out of this script, because I need to know this before I find out about this movie, because I am so confounded.
I wonder, like, just trying to think what it could be. I wonder if it's going to be a meta type thing where maybe like they're playing like the roles of Ken and Barbie in a TV show in the movie or something, right? And they're trying to like grapple with some of the topics that the show is pushing, whether it's sexist topics, which links back to how Barbie first started and was kind of pigeonholing what women could be until it started branching out. I don't know. That's just off the cuff.
And I'm not saying Greta Gerwig is not that type of writer or director, but it doesn't seem like she would be that overt with it. And I don't think you can make a Barbie movie without being that overt with it, like the addressing those topics. And if you do it, awesome. And I'm psyched to see it. And if anyone can do it, it's Gerwig. So bring it on, and Bobek. So bring it on. I'm psyched, but it seems impossible.
Do you think Aqua, the band behind Barbie Girl, has called like Mattel and Warner Brothers or whoever's doing this movie and was like, "Hey, don't forget about us"?
I would love Aqua to try to sue.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
You're taking one possible lyric from our song.
That would be the headline if there was a lawsuit.
Come on, Barbie,
let's go party in court.
Oh,
Other casting news is that One Night in Miami's Kingsley Benadir will star as Jamaican reggae legend Bob Marley in a new Paramount Pictures biopic. This will be directed by King Richard's Ronaldo Marcus Green, and part of the Marley family, or I guess the Marley family is involved in general. This is solid casting to me. I like Kingsley Benadir a lot.
This is spectacular casting. I mean, Kingsley Benadir dives into his roles. I've only heard him with his natural British accent once, and that's in Love Life. Like, other than that, he's played Obama and Malcolm X. And so, like, just it's
minor roles.
Like, yeah, only those guys. And I think it's interesting. There has been a little bit of blowback. It's been an interesting blowback, one that I feel like I'm unqualified to give a take on. But it's like, why isn't it a Jamaican actor, or why isn't it, someone with a authentic Jamaican accent? I think, I argue with this. It could have gone worse. I wonder that. I'd say that this is an argument that it's an argument that I like to place out there and then step back from, because I don't know if I can really say something. I mean, I think that Kingsley Benadir is going to do a good job. It's going to make it proud. Also, several family members are backing it and are involved in the project. And so I think that, like, it's more than a blessing then in that case. But that is something that was, like, it was bothering me. I got into a couple of online arguments about it. And then once the paragraph long comment showed up to reply, I was like, I'm going to skirt away.
You're spending a lot of time online in these arguments right now.
I think I need to take a step back for a little bit for the good old mental health of me.
Kingsley Benadir, of course, beat out Scarlett Johansson for the role. So Zack Snyder's upcoming Rebel Moon, which is his Netflix film that is based off a proposal for a Star Trek or Star Wars film, has added quite a group of actors to the cast. So Charlie Hunnam, Digimon Hansu, Ray Fisher, and Jenna Malone are among the cast. We also have Dunabe, Stasnair, E. Duffy, Charlotte Maggie, and Sky Yang. And they joined Sophia Boutella, who was originally announced. This is kind of wild. Like, that, to me, that's a really solid cast for this movie that's set in a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy that finds itself threatened by the armies of the tyrannical Regent Belisarius. They dispatch a young woman, Boutella, with a mysterious past to seek out warriors from neighboring planets to help them take a stand against the tyrant. I think the big story here is Ray Fisher being looped back in. It's just an ultimate fuck you to Warner Brothers, and I love it so much.
It is one of those things where it's like, Ray Fisher knows sci-fi. Ray Fisher will do a good job anyway and stuff. And like was within that, Justice League movie, and like quite an experience there, and the hardships of like making a sci-fi movie, even without the really bad hardships. But then also in general, it is just a great fuck you to Warner Brothers.
Let's start the Oscar push. Let's start the Oscar push. I'm telling you,
let's get like Ray Fisher. I just want Ray Fisher to be the center of this movie, and for it to be a tremendous success where he's part cyborg in this one as well.
My God, I laughed so hard when I saw that casting. I'm pumped for it.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, so good. Speaking of Warner Brothers, and DC,
I thought you were going to say speaking of good. I was like, no.
Adam Sizekill.
It's tough because in the link, it's on the other side there. Sizekill.
I know what it is. Sizekill. I see it. I just can't read it.
No, I think you do like when it's like that, it's like a Steichel.
Sure, we'll go with that. Adam Steichel, who wrote Black Adam, will write and direct The Wonder Twins, which is a film that is based on a thing, which is a comic, and it's going to HBO Max. It's going to be a movie. It's the story of shape-shifting alien twins. And I believe they usually say Wonder Twins activate or something.
And they have to put their little well, that was really close to the camera.
Isn't that like Captain Planet?
Like, Well, no, they just point him up in the air and they summon Captain Planet that way.
Earth, wind, fire. Oh, no, wait, that's
Earth, wind, fire. That's not an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
I was like, wait, what?
Even close to an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Oh my god. Good for them. I mean, I think what I am enjoying, while I'm not like, I don't have any excitement level for this because I don't know anything about Wonder Twins. It's kind of cool that they are branching out into other characters, DC characters on HBO Max. I have said all along that that's how you use these platforms, is like, see what works and then blow it up if it works really well.
Right now, for me, this sounds kind of dumb, but let's see how that casting goes. I'll be waiting on the casting. That'll keep me like, that'll, like, if you can. Oh, or are we gonna do some thinking? Because I do bad at casting. I do bad at fantasy casting.
Dylan O'Brien and
Jesus,
Selena Gomez.
I don't know, Selena Gomez.
No, I don't like it. I don't know. I have to think about that.
Yeah.
Wonder Twins casting. I'm sure someone put this up already.
Oh God, fantasy casting.
Oh, here's the fan casting on my cast.
Yep.
Fan casting for the Wonder Twins. What? Maud Apatow?
Oh yeah, Judd Apatow's daughter.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. I don't know what the characters' names are. Kevin Quinn is Zahn Wonder. Oh, I guess that would be Maud Apatow for Jaina Wonder and Kevin Quinn for Zan Wonder.
It was a real Da Vinci Code for you, huh?
They're linking Superman into this too. I don't know if he has something to do with the Wonder Twins, but of course they have Henry Cavill there.
Oh, that's there's the thing. There's something.
Listen, I tweeted about this the other day, so it's true. But I said, like, I'm starting to think no news is good news here. Like with the Henry Cavill thing. Of course I would like a confirmation, but I wonder if they're just like, I don't know.
I don't know if that's I don't.
They haven't said we're moving away from them.
Yeah, they haven't. They haven't officially said that, but whenever when I was single and I got ghosted, I knew it wasn't like, hey, eventually. Like, it was like, oh, probably no.
Speaking of dating and stuff, did you watch The Tinder Swindler?
I still haven't watched The Tinder Swindler.
It's an interesting documentary.
I haven't been avoiding it, I promise.
It's a little boring at the beginning, but then it's like, whoa. But someone tweeted, I don't know, man. If I was dating someone and they said they needed $25,000 because their enemies were after them, I'd be like, oh man, that sucks. Good luck though. That's how I would be. But listen, we've talked a lot about different franchises and stuff that let me reset that statement. We've talked a lot about franchises that studios want to get off the ground, and Netflix is no stranger to wanting to get a franchise going. They are finally bringing the BioShock video game to the screen. A film version has been in development for quite a while. This is a very popular video game series. It's a first-person shooter, and it has to do with a man who crashes into an ocean and gains access to an underwater utopia, I should say, where discovered genetic material has granted superhero powers to many of the inhabitants. There's really no other word on this, but I think Gore Verbinski was linked to this back in 2008.
Oh,
so it's been quite a while, but good for them. I mean, it's something that I think people are going to look forward to. And it's nice to see Netflix really branching out with what they're bringing to their streamer.
Well, I mean, Netflix does love their video game adaptations. I mean, they're hanging tall on The Witcher, which is like still pretty okay. I mean, like that sounds like a poor endorsement, but it's enjoyable and it's popular enough, so this could work well for them.
Yeah, I'm into it. I think it's gonna be good. I mean, I hope it's good, but I think it's good for them to get this. All right, the last story we have is a Paramount news dump. So Viacom CBS has rebranded to Paramount Global, which, hey, makes sense. And they dropped a lot of news about movies that are coming out, in addition to some series. One of the things they mentioned series-wise is that Halo's already been renewed for season 2. I think we were just talking about that a couple weeks ago, whether or not that would happen. But even before it premieres, it's been renewed, which is great. Here's what you have to look forward to. We're getting a spin-off film in 2023 of A Quiet Place. We knew that was happening, but it is confirmed now that John Krasinski is going to helm A Quiet Place 3, which will come out in 2025. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has already been greenlit as well. But before that, we're getting a spin-off series starring Idris Elba as Knuckles on Paramount Plus.
What fucking planet are we on?
Matt Shackman is going to helm Star Trek 4. Matt Shackman was the showrunner, I believe it was, for WandaVision.
Oh.
And
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Chris Pine and team are expected to return. People are reporting that they're locked in, but I was reading like negotiations are now beginning with them. Yeah. So I think like they're targeting them and they want them in, obviously. But I'm excited because I like that series a lot, and I've been really depressed they haven't been able to get that fourth film off the ground.
That was the most surprising thing I heard the entire like news dump, because I was like that. I never thought that would happen again. I never thought I'd see him in that chair.
Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which will star Anthony Ramos, is going to be the first film of a new trilogy, while the animated film is going to theaters in 2024. And then these are the ones I know you're really waiting for. 3 SpongeBob SquarePants character movies are going to Paramount Plus, as well as a 4th theatrical release. A SEAL Team film is going to Paramount Plus. A Teen Wolf movie with most of the original cast back. A new animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because who doesn't need a 17th reboot? And a Blue's Clues movies with all 3 Blue's Clues people. Steve's back.
Steve's coming back. Did that Facebook video didn't draw enough of a fund for him?
That's what did it. So hey, good for them. I mean, it's Paramount's laying out a lot of stuff here. The first thing I'll say though, right off the bat, is you're seeing nothing original in these announcements. But I guess when you're reporting out during your earnings call, you probably want to link back to stuff that's been a success in the past. I'd say look what we in the future.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have something, like if you don't have like a property, it won't, like I think what you just said, like sort of an announcement of like some sort of already existing property. No one's caring, because like here's Billy Bobby Ski and his magical trumpet, and it's like we're gonna do this story, and this could be the greatest movie of all time, and it might be something they're sinking a lot of money in because they know it's the greatest movie of all time, but they're not going to announce that alongside Sonic 3 and the Knuckles series.
Idris Elba, love it. One other piece of news before we wrap up here with our rants and raves is that I forgot to put this on the outline, but Rupert Grint and Nikki Amuka Bird. Nikki Amuka Bird is from, oh my gosh, help me out here.
I don't know her.
She was in Old. I'm sorry. She was in Old.
Oh.
And then Rupert Grint, of course, we know him as Ron from Harry Potter, but he was in Servant, or is in Servant. They are joining Dave Bautista in Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's next movie. So, of course, we know nothing about it, but interesting cast.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have some people like that are familiar with them. That could be an interesting level of upgrade to it. I mean, you have Bruce Willis from Sixth Sense and then Unbreakable, and that was kind of like a fun thing to have. So that often happens, and hopefully that can keep going.
Ron Weasley and Dave Bautista. Who would have thought? Sean, hit us with your rant and rave.
Yeah, so mine is a bit of a ironically, it is a rant and rave. It's a little bit of both because the Oscar hosts were announced, and everybody needs to chill the fuck out. I'll go through them. First of all, we have Regina Hall. Regina Hall is awesome. Regina Hall is hysterical. I don't know anything about Regina Hall's stand-up. I know it's like not as famous as her film work, but she's very funny. She can work off other people. It's going to be great. Not worried about her. I don't think anyone's commented about her. Wanda Sykes. It would have been awesome if Wanda Sykes was just the one host of the entire.
I love Wanda Sykes so much.
Like, honestly, like they really should have done. I know they wanted to do a 3-person hosting thing, and that's fun and all. Wanda Sykes could have hosted the entire show on her own. It would have been a really fun thing. Would have been kind of retro, but she's also like has a great energy, really fresh, the whole thing. Okay, then we have Amy Schumer. Now, I'll start off with saying I'm not an Amy Schumer fan, but I also don't think she should be like tossed into the like fires of hell for eternity. The way some people think she is for just simply being casted as a host of this thing. First of all, I'll say it this way. I don't like her stand-up comedy that much. I'm just not a fan of it, that kind of thing. But let's just say this right off the bat. It's a hosting gig. It's not a stand-up comedy gig. Yeah, you do a monologue. That monologue is written by like 18 writers, and none of the material is actually yours. And there's a few things that are just delivered. First, and then, so like, first of all, if you don't like her stand-up comedy, that's fine. She's going to probably do she's going to do a few things in the beginning that that are comments on the movies, comments on some of the celebrities. And then after that, they just introduce people. That's the host. They keep an energy live, and there's like people that are great at doing that, but they don't have to be stand-up comedians. Hugh Jackman, probably one of the greatest modern hosts in a while. I really love what he did. So that's where, like, I have one issue with some of the reactions to it. Another thing with it is that, Amy Schumer does have the same like energy, where she will be like kind of an asshole, kind of disrespectful to the awards. Now, everyone loves it when Ricky Gervais does it. We're not liking it when Amy Schumer does it. I don't know why, we could go back and forth on this. I don't want to point fingers to a certain capability. Some people they just hate Amy Schumer for hating Amy Schumer. I don't know what, I don't know exactly what to say to that kind of deal. I'm not saying, women hate or anything like that. Maybe you just don't like Amy Schumer. That's fine. Okay. But
can I interject real quick?
Go in there. Yeah.
Here's my interjection. People don't like Ricky Gervais either. So,
That's true.
like, for some reason, we always focus on the overwhelming negative with Amy Schumer for some reason, but just as many people love her as don't like her. So, like, she sells out her tours. She is in demand as an actress. And she like took a break because she had a really horrific pregnancy, if you followed any of that. But people love her. She is a solid. I've seen her live in stand up. My buddy and I love her. She got drunk halfway through the show because she was drinking a bottle of wine. It was highly entertaining. But like, people are so hard on the people that they don't like. I was just skimming through Instagram and checking news, because if I can't find it on websites, I'm like, anyone posting about anything that we missed? And there's someone that absolutely hates James Gunn, and because James Gunn is now attached to the Wile E. Coyote movie, they're like, oh, I'm not watching it now. Like, people are just ridiculous with this shit. And we got to remember that, like, our opinions, and I don't know Regina Hall that well. Like, I'm not saying I don't like her, but I'm saying I don't know her stand-up. I love Wanda Sykes' stand-up. I like Amy Schumer's stand-up. I don't like Ricky Gervais. So when he hosts, I think it goes a little crazy. But people are like, haha, that's Ricky Gervais. That's my opinion. Yeah. And we're allowed to have them, but we're getting to this place where it's like, boycott because, these 18-year-olds don't like her.
Yeah, then that was the one thing, because I saw many posts that were just like sort of scary to me, where it's like, just like flat out the like the Oscars are bullshit now, and it's like, for a host choice, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with that? This is going to be a lovingly hosted thing. Maybe some slip ups. Maybe it won't be that great. Maybe it will be fine. I just I can't get over the fact that like it's just one of those things where don't focus too much on the host. Like, I know people do, and that's why they didn't do a host for a while, and that worked, and then it stopped working. And that like, because then we needed one. But it's like, okay, we could have Jimmy Kimmel every single year. Great the first year, not as great the next year. Something fresh. Try something new. But
Well, and like, people have to realize, so a lot of people were upset because they saw 3 and they were like, oh my God, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland. Like, yeah,
never
okay.
In a million years.
The Academy is going to go for that when they didn't even consider your movie for Best Picture. But Will Packer is the one that is producing this. And he's done movies that he knows these people. Like, he reached out to people that he knows. He's done Straight Outta Compton, Ride Along, Girls Trip, Think Like a Man, the television remake of Roots. Like, it's up to the producer ultimately. It's not the Academy picking.
Okay, yeah.
He's trying to put on a good show, and people just get so insane. I'm like starting to lose my mind about it.
It's unbelievable how you're like, I'm telling you, I can't wait for, people are going to boycott the Oscars because of it, but you're not going to see the host that much.
Then boycott the fucking Oscars.
Well, you're just not going to see the host that much. You have no idea how little you'll see the host. It's unbelievable how little you'll see the host. It's like, once again, quick monologue in the beginning. All right. Then they'll occasionally go, hey, here's this idiot, or like do some joke about the person coming in and stuff like that. And then, maybe they'll do something where they vacuum the carpet near the celebrities. Like, then you're done. Then you're done. Then you get to watch cinematography. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Sorry, that
Amy Schumer's really going to cry into her paycheck at the end of the night when she's downing a bottle of wine before she goes home. Like,
I hope she downs a bottle of wine during it.
Yeah, she really cares what you have to say. Bot hater 24 or whatever. All right, my rant is really frustrating me. So when you get advanced screeners, for people that aren't familiar with the process, like when you get advanced screeners, you're told you're not allowed to post either social reactions and or the full review until a certain day. So that's referred to as an embargo. People know this. It's frustrating because a lot of times, like, you want to be the first in this business, so to speak. I'm calling it a business, even though, like, I don't make money off of it. You don't make money off of it. But, like, we want to be the first out there. We want to be the ones that are getting the reactions. We're all about the clicks and we're all about the likes and shares and all that shit. I've noticed some people breaking embargoes. I saw it tonight, and it's so frustrating. It's like I guess my rant isn't very thought out. But I guess what frustrates me about that is, like, I view getting screeners as a privilege and getting screenings as a privilege. And the one thing that we're asked to do is not to jump the gun in sharing reviews, whether that is for, they want to have a calculated marketing effort around the reviews, or maybe they don't think the movie is that great, so they push the embargo back to right before the movie comes out, or it's very early and they want everyone to get out there, whatever. But I guess at the end of the day, just respecting that. And when I see posts of reviews or reviews shared, and it's happened in trades before too, so it's not just like the Instagram generation, the YouTube generation, whatever. It's so frustrating to me because as someone who tries to follow that, it becomes even that much more, what's the word? I was going to say frustrating again, because I guess that's what it really is, but it's disappointing.
Yeah.
That, like, we're kind of all doing the same thing. And a lot of us have become buddy. And even, like, I've been able to meet some people from some sites that don't post on Instagram, but post on YouTube, and some that don't post on YouTube, but post on their websites and their trades and stuff like that. And everyone's trying to do good work, and we're all supposed to play by these rules. So I just hope that, like, when that happens, their studios are responding to that appropriately, because it pisses me off.
Yeah, as someone who has to or has not gotten screeners, but, like, I think it's just weird in Connecticut and they're, like, only available in New York. I don't share these same frustrations, but I do see that you work as hard as you do with that, and so keep up the good work, because you're doing the right thing.
Well, it's not like, and I don't mean it as like a woe is me, like pity me.
No, you're it's just kind of a annoying sort of.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Anyway, here's what's coming out this week, Sean. Get excited. Channing Tatum Dog is coming out tomorrow. Friday, and tomorrow night. Uncharted hits theaters on Friday. Sneakerella hits Disney Plus. That's still a thing.
Not a real movie. The
Cursed hits limited theaters. My review will be up in the morning. The King's Man is heading to Hulu. I'm excited to watch that again because I really enjoyed it and had a good time with it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is heading to Netflix. So there you go. That's your watch list for this weekend.
Oh boy!
Anything that you're looking forward to? Like, what's your priority out of that list?
Flea. Probably
you'll be done Flea in an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's true. It'll probably be either Dog or Uncharted. I got to figure out how the times work, but I have Friday and Monday off, so
nice.
I'm having myself a spree.
You've been having yourself a spree already.
Oh yeah, Dog and Uncharted, the real double feature of the of the year right there.
Oh my god. Well, Sam and I are in a fight over Marry Me, so we're not don't take it.
I still have tried to explain this to her. I don't know what's going on with her. Like, Like, I don't know why she does not like that movie. I am stunned.
She was like, should be an F, should be an F.
Should be an F. And I'm like, I mean, I gave it a C. I mean, I'm
That's
not,
what
I'm
I
not,
gave it.
I'm not falling over the thing, but like, I don't know why you are so mad at this movie.
Crazy. And then when you guys were watching I Want You Back, I was like, oh dear God, oh dear God, oh dear God, they're gonna hate
We
it.
both, well, then once again, she was mad at me, and she's like, "Why is this a B?" Like, in the most intense sounding voice. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, like shit."
Before we break, I also want to share that Liz from Pop Goes the Movie is also once again recapping Big Brother, and this is Celebrity Big Brother. It is kind of like an overdrive. There's so many episodes that I thought I was like caught up, and then I fell behind like 2 days later by a lot. So she's doing a great job with those recaps. It's a ridiculous season of crazy characters. It's over next week, I believe it is already. Like it's fast. So definitely check them out on guyatthemovies.com. Sean, anything else for the good of the order?
I have, if you haven't seen it on the document, I have my entire schedule for all of my Academy Awards watch, like all the way up to like April. So like if there's some sort of breaking news somewhere, I'm screwed. So, it's like nope, can't. I guess I could just break in and do another one like I've done before. But so that's mine, awards watch, and the
hottest weekly column on the website is Awards Watch. So
get out of here.
I swear.
Actually, Sam has her work always like looking at it. Like,
she sends it around in white emails. She's like, everyone open this now.
Spamming her office.
I'd be like, okay. Sean, enjoy dog.
Oh, thanks.
As always, thanks for listening. You can follow both Joe and Sean on Instagram at Guy at the Movies and Math Teacher Movies. New episodes of the Guy at the Movies podcast with Joe and Sean are available every Wednesday morning, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, be on the lookout for special spoiler pods, where we dive deep into the latest film releases. If you like what you hear, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.